All right, we're here with another episode of Grow the Game. We have a really awesome guest today, and why don't you tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and then your kind of high school and college volleyball career.
Okay. Hi, I'm Codi Lee. So I'm originally from Houston, just a town north of Houston called the Woodlands. That's where I grew up playing. Let's see, for high school, I was on varsity my junior and senior years. My school had a very competitive program. We made some deep runs in the past to like regionals. I don't know if we've been to state. Probably if we did, it was before I could remember. But yeah, my junior year, we had a really good season. We were 45-0. We won our 5A state championship. We were also named Max Prep's Excellent 25 national champions, so that was really cool. And then my senior year, we were really hoping to repeat on what we did the last year, especially, having half of a new team. My senior year, we had 5 seniors, 5 juniors, and those juniors never played varsity before. So it was definitely a learning experience, but we still were able to accomplish what we wanted to. So that was the first year we had 6A in Texas, and we won that 6A state championship. So that was really cool. And then from there, yeah, club was fun too. I ended my year at Willowbrook Volleyball Club. Played for Houston Skyline and Woodlands Wave, which is now TAV Houston. So that's where I kind of grew up playing, super competitive, a lot of fun. And then I got recruited by University of Miami. I actually went to TAV's college coaches camp, which I recommend if you can go there. Just super awesome coaching. And it was great to interact with a whole bunch of different college coaches, especially college coaches who I never thought would think twice to look at me. So that was fun. And that's how I got recruited. So I went to University of Miami, played there for a couple years. My freshman year, we went to the NCAA tournament. We lost in the first round, sadly, but that's all right. And then after my sophomore year, I decided to transfer. I got injured a few times. I have a disc issue in my back, and I got a couple of concussions, some pretty bad ones. And I decided to transfer to OU, and just I knew it was time to give my body a rest for that. Then I graduated from OU, and I ended up in Tulsa.
Awesome. And for anybody who doesn't know, she's the head coach over at Booker T here in Tulsa, and that is quite the playing resume right there.
Thank you.
But to your point of you playing really high level high school and club, and I think Texas is one of the best states when it comes to this. What do you see as maybe the one big difference between Oklahoma high school and club and somewhere like Texas?
I think it's definitely what I've seen. It's definitely more competitive. I don't know how, but it's just from other coaches I've talked to and what I've seen at tournaments. It's just like, it's like a different breed of girls. So, you see 14-year-olds who are like already 6'2", and, we don't have many of those there. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the training that goes into it and the competitiveness. A lot of girls are there because they want to go play in college and they want to play on the U.S. national team or whatever it is. And a lot of girls, I practice club for about 3 hours a week, twice a week. And we had strength and conditioning after club practices. And you don't get that much here. It happens, but just, a lot of girls are multi-sport athletes, which I think is great. I think if you can play as many sports as you can, go for it. But once you get to a certain age, that's when you got to start picking, okay, what do I want to do? And just taking the time and dedication to actually do it. So definitely what I've seen, it's a lot more competitive in Texas, for sure.
So you alluded to something we talked about a lot of times on here is how do you, especially going from maybe your high school to Miami, what does that strength and conditioning look like? Because from what I see in most schools, it seems almost zero. it's not extremely low. And then all of a sudden you play high level, and that's what those kids are doing. I mean, they're lifting, they are working the bands, they are doing all these things. So are we pretty on point with that?
I mean, yeah, for the most part. I think high school workouts could probably be a little more intense. I mean, last summer, since I was living in OKC, I didn't really get to facilitate our preseason workouts. But we're definitely going to ramp it up this summer. Because my high school coach, she did CrossFit. And so she would give us all her CrossFit workouts, and, we would do like 3-mile runs, ladders on the track, gassers. Like, we conditioned a lot. And I think that really helped preparing me for college, because as soon as you go to college, what you're doing in the summer is conditioning and weightlifting and stuff. And so I think it's really important to start building a pretty rigorous preseason and postseason workouts, so that girls who are wanting to play at the next level are prepared and they can keep up, because college coaches are really impressed if you're a freshman coming in keeping up with all the juniors and seniors who have been there. So
Yep, I think it's something that most every high school program in Oklahoma could definitely benefit from. So last year you took over at Booker T. You're basically a full year in now.
Yes.
What do you feel like you've learned in year one as a head coach?
I've definitely learned new coaching strategies and how I approach certain situations. This was definitely a really good learning experience for me. I was really nervous coming into this job because, coming in, I'm like, well, someone maybe a little more qualified can do it, or I don't know if I'm up for it. And I'm only 5'3" and I'm tiny. I blend in with junior high kids. So, who's going to listen to this girl coming in? But definitely learn to take charge more and, be more stern with what I believe in as a coach. And basically just I'm ready for next year. This year has really opened my eyes, and I'm ready to keep it going.
Yeah. So, quite a few of the people that watch this is definitely newer, or kind of in that same mentality of who would listen to me, or maybe a coach bumping up to the big dog position. How did you get them to kind of buy into what you're saying, and you find yourself in that along the way?
Yeah. Well, I definitely, coming from me, I had a pretty successful career as a player. And, I've seen a lot of volleyball. I've seen volleyball all the way from Washington to Miami. So I've seen what it takes to be successful, and I've experienced success myself. So just, trying to tell the girls and the parents, hey, like I won too. And all I want for your daughters to experience is what I experienced. I want them to win. I want them to go home at the end of the season with a state ring. And I think kind of helping them see my point of view and see what I'm talking about, and getting them to trust in me and my abilities. Just, basically what all coaches say is trust the process. Yeah, we might not do that good first year, because it's definitely hard as a player, having coaches, like new coaches, it's a new groove, you're finding yourself again, and just basically saying, hey, things got to be broken down before they can be built back up, but it's going to be built back up the right way, and we're going to get the job done.
Yeah, everybody's watching. That was a good 2 minutes of some golden nuggets right there.
Yeah.
So how do you yourself as a coach continue to grow and better yourself? Because you talked about, learning a ton. Well, how do you continue that?
So I definitely get advice from other coaches. This club season, I got to work with some coaches I really look up to and I admire. So just getting to listen to them and see how they're teaching things, and using some of what they're teaching, and I can build it into my own program and what I'm trying to teach, and just kind of talking to a lot of coaches. I think communication with the volleyball community is big. You get so many new drills and so many different points of view, and it just kind of makes you thinking. So any chance I get to learn something new, I definitely want to take advantage of, because it never hurts to know too much.
Yeah. You could be doing the same drill as somebody else, but they maybe emphasize something you didn't think about, or they have just a small tweak that you're like, oh my gosh, like,
Right.
It's not reinventing the wheel, but maybe just put new hubcaps on it.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
So now that you're about a year in, what does you guys' off season look like, or what would you want a good off season to look like?
Yeah, so definitely this off season, I'm putting a lot of focus on serve receive and serving, because I think that's what starts the game, as a serve and pass. And if we can't serve and pass aggressively and efficiently, then in my opinion, we already lost the game. So definitely putting a big emphasis on serving and passing this off season, and kind of working with our younger hitters, kind of helping them grow a little more, teaching them new techniques. With our setters, learning new sets, some different plays that we're looking to run next year. So just kind of getting into a new groove. And I'm like, hey, like, this is just the start of what, preseason in the summer is going to look like. So it's been going well. I've been really happy with what I've been seeing so far.
Awesome. So what I call preseason, different than off season, is once we start July 15th here in Oklahoma, and we go to our first game. That's what I kind of call preseason, because we're able to legitimately get out there and practice and really kind of start to grind. What does that look like, if anything different, than your off season?
I think it's going to compare a little to off season. A lot of serve and pass, and I also want to focus a lot on our hitting and blocking, because I think those really help determine who's going to win a game. You need to be able to block really well and hit shots and be smart hitters, and definitely serve and pass. So our summer's the girls are probably gonna get sick of passing balls all the time, but they'll thank me at the end of the year. But it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make it enjoyable for them, even though we're gonna push really hard. So
so how do you see this season coming out this year?
I think we're going to do really well. I have high hopes, and I have high standards for this year, or high expectations, I should say. We have some new faces probably coming up on our varsity team, and just kind of getting them mentally prepared to play at that next level. And then I think our freshmen and JV are going to be solid this year as well. Last year was kind of because of COVID, I think that just threw everybody off. So we're looking to bounce back from that and just have a winning season this year. I'm ready.
Yeah. I have people ask about last year, or, this, that, or the other. And I'm like, I think all of us almost have to trash what happened last year.
Yeah.
Either you didn't get to go to camps, or you had people out during a big game, or I mean, just you can't even look at the OSSA rankings and be like, oh, they played so and so and beat or lost. I mean, you just have no idea. But I know you have a couple players that play some high level club. How much do you think club impacts the high school games, and more in terms of, as a program director, since you're the head coach, you're kind of over a program. How do you think club fits into building your program?
I think club definitely helps, because school season only lasts from July to mid-October, maybe November if you make it far in the playoffs. But, that's essentially 3 or 4 months of school. And then you have October to July of club. And so I think club is very important. If girls are really passionate and determined to do well in volleyball, they should look into some club options. And there are so many clubs here that can cater to so many kinds, whether it's a money issue or whatever, there's a home for everybody, as I should say. And if you're really looking to be successful in the sport, then do whatever you can to get extra touches in, because you can definitely tell a difference from those who don't invest in that extra time versus those who do.
Yeah. If a kid has played anywhere in clubs and a league is kind of popped out,
yeah.
Boy, it is night and day different.
Yeah.
But I will let you go. I appreciate you being on here. Wish you the best of luck this upcoming year.
Thank you.
And we just appreciate you being on Grow the Game and helping us reach some, coaches, some players, your community, and get a little bit of hype for Booker T this year.
Yeah, BT Dub, let's go. Thanks for having me, and good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
Thanks.